What's up everyone, it is Lo, Beauty Demon, and we are back to talk about internet BS. Once again, some internet BS that is going real life, and that is that Noodles is suing Keemstar. Is this for real? But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. And don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I am seeing on the internet. So if you have something to say about what we are talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what it is there for. Okay, so I made a video a few months back about Noodles and Keemstar kind of having like this battle online. It stemmed from the fact that initially they seemed kind of buddy-buddy in a sense. Keemstar initially wanted Noodles to take over Drama Alert when he allegedly retires. So then Noodles got a couple shout outs from Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas on the Frenemies podcast, and that was enough for Keemstar to cut him out because of course Ethan Klein is his mortal enemy, even though they're like practically the same person. It's like that Spider-Man meme. Then Noodles kind of was like, all right, well then I'm on the side of Ethan, whatever, you just kind of blew up on me for no reason. That was that for a little bit. But then things started to escalate on Twitter when the whole James Charles stuff came out about all the allegations. Noodles on his Twitter had a huge thread that had all the stories of the alleged victims of James Charles. And a couple of those were wrong. So of course Keemstar lashes onto this because, you know, it's perfect. He can just say that Noodles is spreading misinformation and lies in an attempt to, you know, ruin his reputation. Then he allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly because even if there are like Twitter screenshots and things that are out there, this is a legal matter now, so all of this is alleged. But Noodles alleges that Keemstar made statements that he, Noodles, real name Dennis, grew minors. So eventually Noodles lost his Twitter, which was this whole other thing, and he believed that Keemstar had some part in it, but could never really prove it. To this day, Noodles has not gotten his Twitter back. And in Noodles videos, ever since he kind of dropped the cat shtick for a very long time, he would have these big segments of his videos where he would just be on Keemstar pretty much. For a while they were funny, like I even made a video about how I thought they were funny, and you know, after a while it just started to get old and repetitive, and he just started sounding very, I don't even know, like a crotchety old man, maybe, in a sense. He kind of started to go a little too far for me when he called Rich Luck's alt-right pipeline, because I'm assuming it's because one time Rich Luck kissed Keemstar's ass publicly on Twitter, so he just lumps them together. So he missed the mark. And then of course there was the doubling down and supporting of Ethan Klein when Ethan Klein was clearly in the wrong in a situation of how he spoke to a gay man. And I don't even want to go into that because that is not what this video is about, but it was pretty disgusting what Ethan was saying to this person, and then Noodles has to support him in some way. But really what this video is about is that Noodles Dennis is officially suing Keemstar. Like, it's real. He's actually filed a defamation lawsuit. So I found out that he was suing Keemstar like the rest of the world when he made a statement in one of his most recent videos.
Anyway, folks, as you read in the title of the video, I am suing Keemstar. Now, for those of you who started following me recently and are not aware, nearly 1 year ago, Keemstar knowingly published false and defamatory allegations against me. He claimed I groomed numerous underage girls. Keemstar has since confessed twice to fabricating these allegations to punish me. He has never officially retracted these allegations, nor has he ever corrected them. These allegations have caused me great harm socially and professionally. I am now suing him to clear my name of these false allegations and to hold him accountable for knowingly making false accusations.
When I saw that, I don't even know what I really thought, to be honest with you. I mean, I knew he was serious, but I think he was kind of inspired by one of the biggest defamation cases we've ever seen, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, and then of course recently Cardi B actually won a defamation lawsuit against a YouTuber who was spreading misinformation about her. I don't know, maybe Noodles thinks he really has a case. I mean, obviously he's gotten attorneys to look at this. So I went over to Twitter well, actually I didn't even go over to Twitter looking for anything. I just was like browsing on Twitter today, and I saw that Tipster had made a tweet about this, and he said, I don't cover drama anymore, but I want to share all of this with you. And then I was like, wait, he doesn't do drama anymore. So I went over to Tipster's channel and all of his videos were gone. I haven't watched Tipster in a while. I haven't been paying attention to a lot of people that I normally pay attention to on YouTube. So I'm very confused as to what was going on there. However, I do thank him for posting all of this on his Twitter. I do have to say that I appreciate that Dennis made sure to file this in the state that Keemstar lives in and not his own state. So this is filed in the Western District of New York, and it is Dennis Fisoda, is that how you say Def Noodles' last name? Versus Daniel KEEM. So plaintiff Dennis Def Noodles, through his attorneys, complains of the defendant Daniel KEEM. The action arises out of defender's entirely fabricated statements that underage girls accused plaintiff Def Noodles of plaintiff's victims, which gave clear implication that plaintiff was engaging in activities or was the subject of accusations of engaging in. Defendant has since admitted these were completely fabricated. And then it goes into like jurisdiction, which whatever, we're doing it in New York because that is where the defendant lives. Plaintiff is a popular YouTube personality who posts content under the name Def Noodles. Plaintiff also posts on his Twitter and other social media accounts. Defendant is a popular YouTube personality who posts content under the name Keemstar. Well, actually, he posts content under the name Drama Alert. Defendant also posts on his Twitter and other social media accounts. Those are Keemstar. Plaintiff and defendant are direct competitors in the social media influencer industry. On May 21st, 2021, on his verified Twitter account, defendant posted the following tweet of and concerning the plaintiff. The tweet: Def Noodles allegedly girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source. Victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous, but may come forward soon. Hashtag drama alert. Def Noodles has declined to give us comment on these allegations made against him. These statements were complete and utter fabrications. There were no allegations made by any girls, underage or not, that plaintiff had them or otherwise engage in inappropriate conduct of sexual nature. Moreover, contrary to defender's false claims, neither defendant nor anyone acting on defendant's behalf made an attempt to seek comment. To the contrary, defendant blocked plaintiff on Twitter, ensuring he would have no ability to publicly respond to defendant's fabricated claims. Remember, once again, defendant is Keemstar, plaintiff is Def Noodles. Those who read and commented on the tweet clearly understood it as stating actual verifiable facts against plaintiff. For example, the next day on May 22nd, 2021, a user with the Twitter handle named Memelin responded to the tweet and stated, "Show them girls his little noodles." Another user with the handle Chris MCYT posted, "So Def Noodles might be a." Plaintiff also received direct messages and tweets asking him to comment on the false allegations in Twitter and expressing they understood the tweet making the accusations that the plaintiff was the subject of allegations of underage girls for sex and was involved in. The day of the tweet, a user with the Twitter handle Alexei tweeted, "Hopefully MSN picks up on this. Can't have another running around on this platform." Other tweets calling for an official investigation and to believe the victims. But the truth was there was nothing to investigate and there were no victims, not even alleged ones. And the defendant, Keemstar, knew this. Yet he allowed his lies to spread like wildfire around social media while remaining silent. Although plaintiff tried to defend himself on his own accounts, his social media following is not as broad as defendants. His efforts were not able to, I don't know what that word is, ameliorate? They were not able to undo the harm done by defendant Keemstar's malicious disinformation campaign. As such, plaintiff's reputation was injured per se because of false accusations of criminal conduct. Patient suffered a per se reputational injury as a result of the false and defamatory tweet. Apparently realizing he was going to be sued for defamation, defendant then engaged in an ill-fated and thinly veiled attempt, argued that the tweet everyone understood as a legitimate report regarding plaintiff's victims of crimes. On February 5th, 2020, he tweeted a confession where he admitted the tweet was a total fabrication. And then below is the confession. And it is a tweet by Keemstar. It says, "Don't you remember he kept posting nonstop pig stories on YouTubers, so I posted this tweet to mock him. In May 2021, everyone knows this is a joke, that I'm mocking him. But now he's taking it completely out of context and acting like it's a serious allegation." So after seeing responses to the tweet taking it seriously, defendant Keemstar nearly 8 months later issued the confession claiming everyone knew it was a joke, but defendant knew that people did not read it as a joke, as evidenced by the response to the tweet. Defendant Keemstar did nothing to clarify or correct that false statements in the tweet until many months later after the damage had been done. Not only that, but in the confession, defendant doubled down on the false claim that plaintiff had, quote, declined to comment on to the defendant and the false allegations. In doing so, defendant Keemstar left open the possibility that plaintiff Def Noodles' failure to address the joke allegations might mean perhaps there was a kernel of truth in the false allegations. Although the defendant's confession was a jailhouse lawyer attempt at immunizing himself for liability for defamation, in reality it constitutes conclusive evidence of his actual malice as the truth of the tweet. Plaintiff Def Noodles now brings this action to recover actually compensatory, explanatory, punitively damages against defendant. First cause of actions, liable per se. Plaintiff Def Noodles repeats the allegations in the paragraphs above. As described, defendant Keemstar made false statements of the fact expressingly and/or implicitly as follows. 1. There were actual teenage girls in ages ranging from 12 to 15 who would accuse the plaintiff of grooming them for illicit sexual purposes. 2. These girls were victims, which implied that wrongful conduct had in fact been committed against these girls by plaintiff of a criminal nature. 3. These girls were scared of plaintiff, suggesting that plaintiff had threatened or coerced them into silence, and plaintiff had declined to comment on these serious allegations lodged against him. Ordinary, reasonable readers of Twitter understood the tweet to stating these actual facts expressly and or implicitly about plaintiff Def Noodles, and the ordinary, reasonable reader would have not read these statements as rhetorical hyperbole or satire. Defendant Keemstar intended that ordinary reasonable readers of Twitter to draw the above referred conclusions, inferences, and impressions from the tweet. These conclusions, inferences, and impressions are defamatory per se because they accuse plaintiff of the commission of a crime by involvement in underage girls, in which plaintiff refused to comment on. Defendant never raised a finger to clarify or correct the tweet to ensure readers knew it was a joke, even though he knew that the public at large did not read the tweet as a joke, but rather as a serious claim of criminal misconduct. The defendant, in fact, had admitted he intended these conclusions, inferences, and impressions to be drawn from the tweet, claiming he did so to mock plaintiff for allegedly making up fake allegations against others. In doing so, defendant admitted he intended/endorsed the impression from the tweet to be drawn that the plaintiff was accused of and had in fact engaged in. Defendant also admitted he knew the defamatory statements in the tweet were false when they were made. Defendant therefore admits to making the tweet with actual malice as to the falsity of the defamatory statements in the tweet. Because defendant's tweets and defamatory allegations there are in accusations of criminal conduct, reputational injury to plaintiff is presumed, and his reputational injuries exceed $75,000. Moreover, plaintiff has suffered severe mental anguish from defendant's false allegations of and seeks redress for these injuries. Finally, plaintiff will show by clear and convincing evidence that defendant's tweets were made with the actual knowledge of the falsity of the defamatory statements, thereby enabling plaintiff to, I can't say words, it's late you guys, prayer for relief. Do all these lawsuits have like prayers in them? I don't know. Wherefore, plaintiff Def Noodles respectfully demands judgment against defendant Keemstar, I'm just gonna say their names, A, awarding compository reputational damages in the amount to be proven at trial in excess of $75,000 plus interest. Awarding mental anguish damages in the amount to be proven in the trial in excess of $75,000 plus interest. So is that like two different payments of $75,000? Like, or is it like a time served in one sort of thing? Awarding punitive and explanatory, I can't say it, damages for defendant's wrongful and malicious conduct, and granting such other further relief as the courts deem proper, together with costs, attorney fees, and disbursement of this action. Plaintiff demands jury by trial on all issues, so triable. And that was filed the 18th, which was for me, what am I filming this on? So this was filed 2 days ago, and Def Noodles is seeking at least $75,000 plus interest. I'm gonna say it's like probably ends up being $100K, and if he is gonna get $100K roughly for both these, now don't take that number and run with it. Now, the paperwork says $75K plus interest, so I'm just rounding up. So if he gets to, that's like, he might get $200K from Keemstar if he wins. Remember, defamation lawsuits are very hard to win. I don't know if he's gonna win this. I'm not a lawyer. Like I said, they're super hard to win, but he might be able to prove that he actually suffered real damage. Who knows? Like, we don't really know everything that's going on behind the scenes. I'm kind of shocked. I didn't expect him to actually take those kinds of steps and things, so it's very interesting. I'm curious to see how it plays out. It kind of takes this whole kind of mocking nickname that Def Noodles has had as defamation Noodles. Kind of puts a new little spin on it now that he has started a defamation lawsuit. And then the crazy thing to me is that they are requesting a trial by jury. This could get ugly and it could be televised. Keemstar at this point has not responded, but when he responds, I might make a video, maybe just a little short about it, because I don't think it really will require an entire video. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Laters. Bye.